Lethal Company, a very successful game which came out in 2023 and sold over 10 million copies. And that is a lot for an indie game. And of course, there are a lot of games inspired by Lethal Company. For example, we have Content Warning, Repo, Nuclear Nightmare, Dark Hours, The Headliners, and a lot more. So I programmed games for a while now, and I never finished a project so far. And this time I thought I'd like to do a project, which I will release on Steam. To that time, Little Company came out, and I got very inspired. So my game is very inspired by Little Company, mostly because of the dungeon idea and the mobs idea. So monsters will play an important role in my game, and also the dungeon. There's still one problem. I have no multiplayer experience. So I only programmed single player games so far and no multiplayer. I don't even have any knowledge about all this network stuff and so, but I decided to do it multiplayer anyway. So what is my game about, or what it is going to be? The base idea is basically that you deliver packages to monsters or other players in a dungeon, and you earn money for that. And with the money you can buy new tools, and you have to pay the DDSP fee every 3 days or 4 days, whatever I decide to do. So with the explanation out of the way, let's start the project. Let's open Unity Hub and create a new project, and let's call it DungeonDash. Fishnet. Oh, it's already taken? Oh, yeah, silly me. I already created a project. So let's hop right into it and I'll show you. First things first, I have to set up multiplayer because it should be a multiplayer game, as I said before. And for that, I watched a bunch of YouTube tutorials because I have no idea. After a bunch of YouTube tutorials, I finally got it running. And a huge thanks to Bobsy because he got great YouTube tutorials on how to do multiplayer in Unity. So I just can recommend him 5 ducks. Pretty nice. Now we need just a movement script, and with some coding magic, we get it. A working player movement system, and you already can play together. But now we need a level selection system, because always the same level is a bit boring after some time. And I like the moon idea in the company, so you type the moon name in and then you go to the moon. I liked it a lot. So I thought, yeah, I can do the same thing, but different. So same but different. Because it's a delivery game, I created gates. When you open the gates, some packages will spawn, which you can pick up. And it's also a level selection, so for every gate, there's another level or another region you can unlock if you pay for them. Walking long distances is a bit boring, so I created a delivery car. So it don't look like a delivery car now, but it will be, and it is going to be, okay? It is working pretty good, but the other player cannot drive the car, and the car has some issues. Now we need a way to take the packages and put them inside the car or to the receiver, so I created that cool and working pickup system. So now you can look at the boxes, hold E, and then you can pick up the box. And there will be also an inventory system, so you can grab multiple objects, like 4 boxes, but only 1 big box, for example, or 5 boxes. So I have to see how many slots I will do. So after the pickup system and the car and a new map and some color, we have still some bugs. So after some tweaking and fixing and stuff like that, I cannot remember, it is working. And I made a new map directly because the old one was inferior.
Inferior.
Another big issue I have since the beginning were physics. Physics suck in multiplayer, because the client and the server are calculating the physics separately, and so there are different results on the calculation, and that's why they have different positions and make weird stuff on the client side, and not on the server side but on the client side, and it looks like that. Yeah, you see what I mean? This sliding box is not what it should do, and this jumping boxes are also not what it should be doing. So I decided to just disable the physics for the moment. I will bring them back because physics are fun, but I have no idea how to do it right now. And I tried a lot of things, like I let the server calculate the physics and disabled it on the client side, which worked a bit, but it was so laggy. It took so long to respond and I don't like that. Yeah, so I decided to just turn it off for the moment. Good news, I also created a dungeon. So the player and the client have the same dungeon now. So the first player and the second player have now the same dungeon. And it's generating pretty good. Yeah, that's all. Cool. I also like the display in Lethal Company, so you can view other players from the top view, so like the little mini map, but in the car on a little screen. And I like the idea because someone can watch in the car and just leave when everybody dies, so you don't lose any progress. And I thought, yeah, that's a good idea, so I implemented by myself in my own game. And now we have 2 displays, so you can view 2 players at a time. You can view different players from top and you can see the dungeon. You can see basically everything which is on the minimap, yeah, which is on the map, which you can see by yourself. And it's pretty helpful. Tools. So I created a sticker cannon. I think the sticker cannon is self-explanatory because it just shoots stickers, obviously, and it's helpful for the dungeon. So when you're in the dungeon, you can mark your path and find back easier than without stickers. You also have the pickaxe, and I think no one knows what a pickaxe is, so I'll explain it real quick. So with the pickaxe, you can hit players or enemies, and then they die. Or you can hit rocks, and more rocks, and then the rocks are going bang and boom, and the rocks are gone. Okay? Easy as that. Oh yeah, because I was speaking about death, I also created a player health system with a death cam, so when the player's health goes below 0, the player switches to the player death cam and can fly around wherever he wants. And I don't know if I can change this feature later, so you only can view other players, but I like the idea that you can fly freely around the map. Next, we have the flashlight. It's obvious, light on, light off. Easy as that. And then we have the Dizzy. The Dizzy is a very helpful tool, but I won't show it to you right now because it is not working right now, okay? But later, I promise, you will see how it is or what it will do. So everything looks a bit boring, and I think it's Blender time! After putting every single model in Unity, the terrain and other stuff, it looks pretty and pretty empty. I mean, look at the terrain. It looks just so bad, I won't look at it. So I created grass. I created my own grass solution, but the frame rate was, yeah, it was inferior.
inferior,
So I looked in the Unity asset store and found this cool asset by Bolt Studios called Grassflow 2. I firstly bought Grassflow 1, but then realized, oh shit, haha, it's not working with the current URP. So I upgraded to Grassflow 2 and it was working pretty well. I love it. So thanks Bolt Studios, very nice asset. I can just recommend it. I linked it down in the description if you want to download it. With some grass, it looked so much nicer. Holy cow. So with the textures and models done, we now need a receiver and money system. And the receiver system was actually pretty easy to implement when the box with the right ID. So if the right box hits the right receiver, the box will disappear and you get money for that. And the money system is basically just a system which stores a value. So if you have $10, it stores that $10. Or if you have $25, it stores those $25 and add it to the $10, okay? Basic money system. Now we have the receivers and now I can show you the Dizzy. So what can the Dizzy do? If you have a package down on the floor, you can click on it with the Dizzy and then you see a little number on the display. And the number shows you how far you go away from the receiver. But I think I will change it later because right now it just shows you how far you are away from the Dizzy without any path finding. And I think I will do it like that. The Dizzy will generate a path and then takes the length of the path and not only the length of the path between you and the receiver. I also have this weird light problem that the dungeon map is just very dark. And I tried it for 5 weeks and didn't got it working. It was so... But now it works, okay? Pretty easy. Another thing I have to complain about is the pickup script. I completely demolished the old pickup script and wrote a new one because the old pickup script was so bad. So I had to fix the old pickup script for more than 5 times and wasted more than 6 weeks on a single script which was working and also not. And I cannot explain you why the old script was working because it shouldn't, but it also worked and it makes no sense because I have no idea why this movement script, why this pickup script worked and why the pickup script didn't work. And my brain just exploded and so I just deleted the script and make a new one. Yeah. I also tried animations, which looks okay. I think it looks okay. Okay. So you see that the player is walking and you see that the player is dancing and you see that the player is pointing. So I think it's, for my first time, it looks pretty decent, okay? And maybe, nah, not maybe, they will stay in the game, in the final game, okay? Because I'm not going to do new ones. I also added some quality of life features like this cool camera wiggle, so it feels like you're walking or you're running. And I have to add some more camera wiggle when something heavy falls on the ground or if you jump or if you land. Yeah, there's so much I have to consider about and yeah, maybe I need a to-do list because I don't have one yet. What can I say? That's my current progress. Now we can see the differences between back then and now. I mean, it looks so different. The models make so much difference than without any. With only cubes, it's so empty, and with so many other new models and organic shapes, it looks so alive. Actually, it looks alive. Also, so much mechanic is now running, and it's not the final state because I'm working daily on the project. There have been some new features, but I won't show them in the devlog now because it would be too much for this devlog, because this devlog only is a quick information about what is my current progress, so you know what I did so far and can see where the game will go. I have a lot of games for the game, for example, to improve the Dizzy and make it more fun and competitive. And fun fact, it wasn't even my first multiplayer game because I tried the same game like 2 months before I started this project ago with Miro. And let's say it wasn't going well, okay? And I quit it after like 2 or 5 weeks because I couldn't get the pickup script running. And after some time, I found the fishnet and I love it. I like it and I hate it. And it's just a good match. So if you enjoyed the devlog and like to see more how this project will go and where it will go, then just consider subscribing and leaving a like. That would help me a lot and I would appreciate it. Then I hope I see you on the next devlog. And